Guys, have you guys checked out the hottest new site, balls.yoga?
What?
Yeah, I have checked it out.
Adam, check it out.
Balls.yoga?
Check it out.
Oh my god, what is this?
It's so hot right now. So hot.
This is you guys? What in the world?
I just sent in the chat we made an ad for Bolt for their hackathon this month that we were doing.
Ooh.
And it involved Prime being devastated that he was no longer able to make balls.yoga, which we just casually mentioned in the ad, but then we actually made it. So that it would be an Easter egg. Can you believe balls.yoga was available to buy though?
Adam, are you okay?
He's watching. I think he's watching the ad.
Yeah.
No.
Your face looked so disappointed.
Oh, did it? I was just reading Twitter. I'm sorry, you guys sent me to Twitter, and then I found that there's some stuff on Twitter.
Ooh, the drama. Drama.
I just want to read it so badly now. Like,
Let's just read it on stream.
I don't know if it belongs on your podcast. Like, I don't think that's necessarily where it goes.
We're gonna
Bring
keep
it
on.
up.
Can we give a proper intro to the episode before we start?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyways, sorry.
Go ahead, Prime.
Hey, today we are having on what I would consider two experts, Adam and Dax. Adam is currently looking very disturbed.
So sorry.
Dax looking
Josh,
great.
zoom in.
Zoom in, Josh.
Zoom in.
But they have been building out something called OpenCode, which is going to be an agent for your terminal, and the experience looks immaculate. Adam, you've done a fantastic job. Dax, I don't know what you do, but it looks very, very, very good. And of course, on this podcast, as always, is Tej. Tej, hey, he might be Steve Jobs, Telescopic Johnson. I don't know what your full name is these days. You keep getting new ones. And so, yeah, today on the stand-up, we're going to be talking about how to build an agent, but not only that, some things about OpenCode itself, which hopefully you'll see a bunch of this on the stream coming up, because this is really our kind of like our area that we all seem to enjoy for whatever reason. All four people on this podcast use NeoVim, by the way, and so you can
That's how we started our company.
That's actually why we started our company, unironically.
It's the
with a
first
coffee
time
shop.
someone got hired because of NeoVim. And we got a double, 2 for 1.
But like, I mean, the reality is that this type of agent is built for people who want, I assume, the more command line kind of experience, the ability to have the faster, more creamy experience that way. And so they're going to just kind of walk us through what it takes to actually build an agent, because if you're not familiar, you probably read 1,000 AI articles at this point that's like, yeah, I spent an afternoon and I built an agent. It's easy. You don't even need something like Cursor. It's so simple, right? Like, you read this thing over and over again, and you're just like, well, then what are people working on? It has to be harder, right? And so we would love to have someone on who's actually done it and can walk us through what it actually takes.
Hackathon's over, but that doesn't mean the content is. Join us on July 26th at 10 a.m. PST on Prime Stream to live react to the award ceremony. See what everybody built, and we'll see you there.
It's okay, you worked at Netflix. You have everything they want.
Anyway,
Nice.
so that's been a little frustrating, but on the other hand, we're really excited about the direction things are going in. I think the genesis of this is like, there's been a lot of really cool tools out there, like Cursor. A lot of people use a bunch, but I don't want to give up NeoVim. Like, I like working in the terminal. I don't want to switch my whole IDE. So we're excited about seeing, okay, what can we do for people like us? Like, what's like the best possible thing we can put together that's complementary to whatever IDE that you choose to use.
Nice.
Very
okay, well, that's
exciting.
some good background info, because we're going to be mentioning OpenCode a bunch probably while we're talking about this, so that clears up where people should go when you guys are talking about that, at least. So let's get to, what is an agent, Dax? Everyone's been asking.
I gotta be honest, I don't really know. Adam, do you want to take
that's
this?
a
What's your
horrible
concept of an agent?
Well, I think the term is very overloaded, right? So outside of programming, it means a lot of things, probably.
Real
Within
estate.
programming. Yeah.
James Bond.
I meant within the AI bubble. So I guess there's like, in the programming world, it's just this idea of calling an LLM, giving it a bunch of tools that are related to programming. So editing, reading files in your code base, and then just like looping and letting it keep calling these tools, making changes, and then coming back with some kind of response. That's kind of the basics, like the formula for an agent. If you look at, like, Cursor has an agentic mode. But then there's other tools in the terminal like Claude Code. I think all the tools that fit into this category kind of have that backbone.
And in particular, the looping is really what we like. The looping and the tools, right? I think like we can say agent equals LLM plus tools. Is that fine? Plus loops?
Mm-hmm.
Plus some
Is
sort
that
of
good?
system prompt that keeps it into like I assume there's some sort of secret sauce to getting a good prompt that helps the agent understand that it needs to go through a bunch of files and kind of understand the code base. Is that what it is also? Or understand the task at hand?
Yeah, and each of the models kind of like they respond differently to the system prompt. So there is like a bit of that, but it's not like a super sensitive secret. I mean, you can kind of see all the system prompts out there. I don't really know that any tool can like differentiate that hard on those fronts. Like the tools are pretty like set to the model at this point. Claude expects certain tools, at least today. Maybe someday all the models will be better at calling tools generically, but right now, like it's really kind of like all these agents have the same set of tools, the same roughly system prompts. It's all the stuff around it that I think we're focused on, like OpenCode having kind of like the share page. You can share sessions with people and you can kind of see the full history of a session, and just having a really great TUI experience. We're going to build a mobile client so you can kind of like step away from your machine and continue conversations while you're on the toilet or whatever. I think like there's a lot of stuff around the actual agent that makes for a good experience in terms of programming with these things. And I think Dax and I have both done a lot of programming with these things, so we have a lot of opinions.
Yeah, I think we're definitely like really firmly in the product zone. It's like less about pushing the LLM capabilities or like finding clever ways to use the LLM itself or making it perform better. There's some of that, but most of it is just packaging it in a way that's nice to use. That's obviously very fun because when you're working on a product that you yourself use every day, you're just like, oh, I wish this was like this. I wish this was this. I wish this was easier. So yeah, it's nice to be able to iterate on that. And then some of the mobile stuff. So I think one differentiator with us is we're really in on this idea of the agent running on your machine with access to your stuff, because that's where you presumably your dev environment works the best. Presumably you have everything set up. Some of these tools like Codex or like Devin, they work remotely and they run in the cloud, which can work, but then you need to like recreate your perfect environment in the cloud, which some companies are disciplined and have that, but not everyone does.
This, right,
Yes, Nix does fix it, but how many people use Nix?
7.
So until everyone's using Nix, several, yes. Realistically, practically, most people's workable dev environment is local. So we want to do stuff like, we want to have a mobile app. That's just going to be connecting to a session. You leave your laptop running and you step away, go on a walk. You can like get notifications saying, how the agent's done with this, give it feedback, but it's also just running on your laptop. So you don't have to go set up this crazy cloud thing.
Have you successfully been able to actually, do a day of prompting while out at the grocery store doing your own thing, just hitting some prompts from your mobile phone?
No, we haven't built the mobile client yet. It's something I desperately want. I don't care if anybody else uses it, to be honest. There's just so many times at this season of life. I'm 38 years old. I have 2 kids. I'm out of my office a lot. Like I step out 15 times a day, and to be able to like go on a walk and then when it's done, get a notification, it's doing its loop and it needs input, to be able to like continue that conversation without having to be sitting at my desk. It's just, I want it very badly. And I think it turns out other people want it. We've seen some mentions on Twitter, Cursor's even designing a mobile app. So it doesn't exist yet, but I'm very excited to have it.
Okay, so then kind of walk us through what it takes to actually build an agent in some sort of real capacity, not just a weekend warrior project, but like why did it take you guys so long to release yours? Obviously, you put a lot of work into it, so it must be more than just a weekend project.
Yeah, so I think one dynamic for us is we're not coupled to a single AI provider. So we support Anthropic, Google, OpenCode. We actually support like the full list of everything that's available because we're built on a library that covers most of them.
What about like Llama? Can I run it locally?
Yeah, so I haven't fully tested this out yet, but one of the providers, there's like provider support. One of the providers is for like a local model. So one, just testing this stuff across everything, seeing which models actually work well for this. The reality is right now, very few perform well. We all use Anthropic and Claude Sonnet 4 as our default because it is the best. We see some
of us aren't poor and we use Opus, but sure, you can use Sonnet. That's fine.
I use Sonnet because I'm not
answer
paying.
of all time. Holy cow!
He's like, I need a mobile app because I'm going to be doing this while I'm eating vegan sushi.
It's literally 5 times as expensive, I think. So
Yeah.
it's quite a difference.
I like it more
Yeah.
because it's expensive. Like that's my thing. I'm
That
just
is a very
into
Adam.
expensive
That is a
things.
very Adam
Yeah,
answer.
it's like a Gucci bag or something, right? You're like, I get the same code out. It doesn't matter at all.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
models are all the same, but mine was made with Opus.
I do have a quick question, Mr. Gucci over there. I noticed that you're not subbed on my channel, and so it's just like you're talking about spending all this money, but you don't even have $5 a month. You have
$5 a
countless
month?
hours of
Hang on.
entertainment.
How do I do it?
$5
I was at one time.
a month.
I haven't
boy
been
over
on
here.
Twitch in months. I swear to you.
Oh, so
Crazy.
before it wasn't even scheduled because you can set it up to auto renew, Adam. Wow.
I think it was. It was at one time. Maybe it's I got a new credit card. You know that happens, and then it just
No, I
it
don't.
bounces.
It's crazy you guys make Adam do all the work and you make him pay you.
He's getting the privilege of working with us, Dax.
Dax.
It's funny. I did see an ad a second ago. I've got Twitch chat up here, and I was like, "Why am I seeing an ad? What is this on Twitch?" That's why.
Wow.
I'm so tilted right now. I'm sorry. It's so hard to focus. I've seen like in Twitch chat, people are confused about the OpenCode AI / OpenCode
Yeah,
repo.
it is super confusing.
I'm so upset about this. It's so like frustrating and annoying, and I want to just like focus on our conversation, but it's just very annoying.
Do you need a Snickers?
Yeah. I don't think
Not
that's
you.
vegan friendly, TJ.
I know that's what he needs, though.
Okay, well, all right. So, I mean, I want to keep going on this agent thing. So, you're just talking about integration and tools, all this. I would assume that do you have to bespokely craft every prompt to be able to use every tool, or does it just simply kind of work out of the box? You're just like, hey, you should search for this thing now, or does it does it use reasoning in the sense that you're like, hey, what do you do? And it's like, this is what I should do. And you're like, okay, now follow step 1. What do you do with follow step 1? Like, how does it start using these tools?
So roughly what the model is good at is you give it a description of the tools and a list of tools and you give it a task, and it's very good at going in a loop. It's like, I'm going to figure out what to do. I'm going to tell you what tools to call them, give them the results. I'm going to like do that. So it's at least in models where this works, that does work really well. There is optimization though. There always is. So the task tool descriptions, like the description of each task tool, like how do you describe it? Like what's the schema for the input? Like, is that confusing? Does it get tripped up on things here and there? So what we do is for say something like Anthropic, they have their own version of this called Claude Code. We just dump everything out from Claude Code. And when you're using Anthropic, we use all the exact same task or the tool descriptions and stuff. So on one hand, I'll say it does make a difference. If you just do a very naive approach, you're probably gonna get worse results. I personally don't think it's like the thing that makes something 10x better. I think it's a thing that you can like kind of play with and optimize, but and also the end goal is like, you don't really want it to have to be that precise because you can bring your own tools. You can say, here's a tool to access my database. Here's a tool to do XYZ things. It needs to be able to be flexible. So we think it'll just kind of get better along those lines anyway.
Can you give an example of like how you hooked it up to like LSP, for example? Because I feel like that will be like kind of illuminating with like a particular example of how it gets access to that.
And how it even knows to call that also.
Yep. So with LSP, so we've experimented with a few different approaches to this, but the one that we're sticking with for now is whenever it makes an edit to the file, the response, we have a tool that's like the edit file tool. Send us like a patch or like it's like old string and new string in the file, we'll replace it. That's how it edits files. When it does that, the response to that tool will include any diagnostics that we found from LSP. So if it's a TypeScript file where we have the TypeScript LSP running, we know that after this edit, there's these 3 errors. We say, here are the errors, please fix. And you'll see it instantly respond with a fix. And this really helps hallucinations because when it like thinks that there's functions that don't exist in a library or any of those things, it corrects itself right away. And it's quite good at responding to that feedback.
So wait, so how does it kick all this stuff off? Because does that mean you actually run the LSPs yourself, or do you? Okay, so that means whenever I open a project, if I have OpenCode plus Vim open, I may have 2 TypeScript servers, I may have 2 Go pleases or whatever they're called, and all the other ones. Okay.
Yeah, so we originally were looking to see, can we like hijack any running ones? Because like maybe you already have Vim open and you already have these LSPs configured, but you can't because they're standard input.
Tej is big shaking. Big
no. That's a big no from me, dog. That's a big no.
Yeah. So we run our stuff in parallel, and there's also no configuration. Like we ship out of the box support for a bunch of things, and everything just downloads and runs. Because you don't need like absolute precision for your exact LSP configuration that you like. It's more just giving the LLM something to work with. And
then you said that's like, at least for the way you guys have it, it's part of the edit file thing. So it's like, okay, I know that I need to go and like edit. Does it also happen if you like move a file or delete file? Like, does it happen in every kind of like file? Because like, I'm just interested to know how you put LSP into everything, or is it just like edits?
That's a good point. Like, we probably should give it information whenever it changes.
All right, making an issue right now.
Well,
in the right repo.
Nice. Open source contributor. Let's go, TJ.
Needs to do LSP diagnostics on file, add, delete. Boom.
We do it on write. So when you create a file, we do show the diagnostics to the tool, or we return the diagnostics. So edit and write, we're already returning them. I guess a move, I don't know. We don't have a move file
we don't
tool.
often see, I guess I haven't done much with it where it's running like a bash move command, but yeah, I think we also considered, and we have this in there, we just have disabled for now. There's a tool that just returns diagnostics. So it can choose, hey, I want to look at diagnostics right now, and it can query for them. And we have seen it used that a bunch, but it wasn't well tested, so we're not shipping with that right now.
Yeah, the models today, they're still very like tuned to call specific tools. Like we've played with a lot of tools, and you can hand it a bunch of tools it's never seen before, and it doesn't call them. There's something to being like the post-training process being catered to certain sets of tools. So Anthropic is really Claude 4, Claude 3.7 before that. Those models are the best at calling tools from a programming standpoint. They'll actually keep trying and going for it. Other models can be really smart, like Gemini 2.5, but it doesn't call tools very eagerly. So there is still like this phase we're in right now where you kind of have to like provide the set of tools that the model expects. I don't think that'll always be the case, but we've definitely given it a bunch of LSP tools. I've played with, giving it go to definition and find references, things like that, and it just doesn't use them. I mean, you can get it to use them if you ask it to, but it doesn't default to kind of thinking that way. I think that'll change.
So like, how do you set it up in such a way to know to use that tool? Like, if you say, hey, use find references, how does it know when to use it? Or because isn't this kind of like a prompt skill issue going on here, where it's just like you don't have a comprehensive enough system prompt for it to be able to follow? Is that what
it is? It is the system prompt. That's, if you look like at the Claude Code system prompt, there's a lot of like specific tools called out. So use the to-do tool to set up your plan before you start executing. That is how you kind of like massage the model into using tools that it maybe doesn't have any awareness of. It's just, there is kind of like a finite number of tools before you kind of hit diminishing returns today. It just doesn't take advantage of all of them, but it gets really good at using the handful that it uses. And I think it's in a good spot right now. I mean, it's very effective. I think these agents today are worth using and leveraging, but I do think it'll get better. I think more models will get better at calling tools, and we'll have other options.
So I have never built a model, so I just have kind of further up questions. But here, Dax, why don't you go? Because then I just still want to keep on asking questions about this.
So one last thing on that. I just totally blanked on what I was gonna say.
It's okay.
Thanks for interrupting him.
It's the name drop
guy.
Just
I don't know if
tilted.
I interrupted him. We kind of like raced towards it.
Oh,
I mean,
yes,
Adam is still so upset about Twitter right now.
I remember. I'm gonna go. So one of the missing pieces here is you can add stuff to the system prompt and say, "Hey, use this tool." But
Max, were you waiting
tell
for Cluely to load or something? What's going on?
Yeah, I was buffering. I need my cheat sheet. One day. It's hard to tell right now whether when you're making something better, are you making something else worse? Because LLM is such a black box. It's not like a deterministic system they can see the inside of. So what is missing, and it's going to be the next major thing we work on, is a set of consistent benchmarks that we can run whenever we make changes to system prompts. And these benchmarks are probably not going to be very quantitative. We're thinking that we're going to come up with a very real world looking code base. We'll have a bunch of like features that we needed to implement, and we'll have a bunch of standard prompts to have it do that. And we have this nice like way to see for anything we do, like every single thing that happened diagnostics wise. So when we make a change, we can run it through this and see like the output and evaluate it somewhat qualitatively. So it's still going to be a qualitative thing. Like, did it get better or worse? But at least we'll have a consistent set of things we're running. So we know. But right now we're kind of flying in the dark. We're like, yeah, this made it better, but I don't know if like some other person's having a horrible experience because of this change.
So you're saying now you're doing not only vibe coding, but vibe testing, Dax.
Vibe testing, vibe benchmarking. Yeah,
Nice.
whole new world.
It's really badly needed because there's so many benchmarks for the models, which everyone has opinions on. There's not
What
really
are your
a benchmark.
opinions, Adam?
Well, I don't know. They're kind of worthless, I guess.
But why? Why are they worth those items? Say why.
Yeah, why?
Why are the model? I mean, I
why-
don't have
why
strong
the model-
opinions. The model benchmarks, they just don't seem to correlate with like actual real world
But
usage. I mean, why? I don't know. I guess because they're training to like hit the benchmarks. Are you guys like quizzing me? What is going on here?
No,
I
okay,
just-
I'm trying
What's
to get
wrong
you to
with
say
the
'cause
ArcAGI benchmarks, Adam? What's
trying
wrong
to
with the
get-
ArcAGI benchmarks?
I'm trying to get you to say because they're all benchmarking Python.
Oh, well, that's a thing. Yeah. They're not all doing it, but
Not all,
the
but
major, the SWE benchmark is literally just Python, which blew my mind when I learned that.
Yeah.
I was
There's
just
not like a
interested.
benchmark today for, where there's like a dozen agentic coding assistants. And there's no benchmark that says like, given the same prompts and the same code base, here's like, and it's part of it's like, it's qualitative, but here's the one that did the best job. It did it the cheapest. It did it the most effectively. You'd have to have kind of like a grading system, and there'd have to be
Yeah.
humans in that process. But
And speed's another factor too, like how fast did it even do this thing. Someone did this funny thing. Someone linked me to something yesterday that was kind of interesting. They told the agent to like write a book. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was something where it would definitely like run in a loop for a long time. And he checked like how many steps it did. I think the highest one, which was Claude, did 187 steps, like to the LM tool call to the LM tool call before it finally stopped. So that's a good way to like rank it to see like which one's the most persistent. A lot of these models are not very like, they give up very easily. They run into an issue and
like
they
humans.
just stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like humans.
AGI has really been achieved internally. Like, I'm giving up on this. They're going to just ask me again later. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right, I got
go
real
ahead.
questions here. I also agree ArcAGI sucks. Okay, but now that we got that out of the way, with that stated, so like, how do you start a loop, and how do you determine that a loop's done? Like, because like, I know you're gonna say, here's what the user said. You have some sort of system prompt to say, hey, you can accomplish this task via these tools, whatever it says. How do you say, okay, I need to re-prompt the system again to execute step one of a several instruction plan? Do you have to like manually parse it out? How do you like, what's the interaction between the model and this to like start this looping process? Because that's what's kind of confusing to me, since I've never actually built the agent itself, is that I imagine that there's some, you have to do some weird parsing rules.
What's cool is you don't have to do anything, because this is a responsibility of the model. So when you make a call to an LLM, it'll generate a bunch of text and it'll stop, right? There's reasons for why it stops.
True.
Sometimes it stops because, oh, I'm done generating text. I'm done with everything I need. So that's the stop reason. But it could also stop because I can't continue until you execute these tools. So you don't have to figure out when to interrupt it and like do something else. It'll tell you, it'll stop and say, call these tools, and then continue with the responses to the tools. That's baked into the models. So that part's pretty easy. It's like very easy to build like that loop.
So that's not even a loop then.
Well, you
It's,
keep asking until it's done.
Eventually it's like a wild true break if the stop reason is done.
It's part of the request that you literally send like to Claude is like, yo, I have these tools available. They can do these different things. And then the like Anthropic is the one, right? If I've from what I've seen
you're
before,
right, you're right. Yeah.
They
Okay, I
you
think
literally
I see it.
send them the tool definitions, and then the model says, I'm going to run this thing. Then you're like, cool, you said I'm going to run that thing. Do I run it? I send it back to Anthropic, and they send it, just like you can do a conversation.
Oh, okay. So it's not you going, if you were to execute, what would you do? Then it's like, I would do these things. And you're like, okay, I'm going to parse out all that things. I'm going to execute it, then resend effectively
Don't
the
do
whole
that.
previous conversation plus the current
That
one.
sounds
Like,
hard.
what's next, bro? Because that seems like it just go, like it would just do this forever because it always comes up with new
Like
stuff.
you and Devin, basically.
Exactly. Me and Devin are tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very easy. That's why building like a basic prototype of an agent, is like a weekend project. Yeah.
Because you just would define like edit file as like a tool, and then you'd give that to the model, and then you'd define like some other simple ones that you would need to do stuff locally. Search for files. I don't know what other ones are like the normal ones.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
it.
grep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Find,
You tell it how to
grep,
use grep.
sed.
It runs grep. Yeah.
It's got a bash
LS.
tool like where they can actually run bash commands.
That one's always good. Because it's like, I'll let you run any bash command, and then it just runs anything. That's a really smart
That's
move.
actually my biggest worry is like, so how do you protect against destructive operations? Do you just simply say, hey, user, you must like approve of said operations? Because how do you know it's not going to like RMRF root no preserve?
So there's a lot of different approaches here. Most of these agentic coding assistants have a permissions model where basically, certain tools have to be granted permission. Most of them also have like a full auto mode where you can bypass all those things if you know you're in a sandbox or whatever. And then there's approaches with sandboxing. So like Codex CLI by OpenAI, they use like the Apple, I don't remember what, seatbelt. It's some kind of a sandboxing thing. Same with Linux has a sandboxing thing where it basically constrains it to work only in this directory, like in the project directory. And then some network constraints as well.
Yeah, some people run Claude code in a Docker container. Docker containers aren't like a perfect, like security-wise, they're not like a perfect sandbox, but they're pretty good, practically speaking. We're not thinking about that stuff too much right now because we need to build something that's fun to use first, and then we'll figure out how to like layer in some of these sandboxing things.
Sorry, that was just such a fun statement. Okay, so does that mean, are you saying that Windows was always right asking for permission for everything, including deleting files?
That's what OpenCode does right now, right? So yes.
Yes, Windows was correct.
Just say yeah, Dax. You got it.
Yeah.
Dax, stop reading Twitter. Okay,
I
I
got
know
distracted.
you're
I'm so
upset. I know
These
you guys are
guys.
upset about this Twitter thing. I have so many questions. So I didn't even know that there was already this agentic loop effectively that exists.
That's what's inside of Cursor.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know that the Cursor has it, but I thought that you wrote the loop, not that these models effectively can kind of break and say, hey, I need more information before continuing.
I mean, you still do have a loop on your side because if it's a while loop, it's still a loop where you're having to keep calling the LLM with all the messages until it tells you to stop, basically.
Mm.
Yeah,
Very exciting.
and there's some tricks here too, right? There's like there's obviously a limited context window on a lot of these models. Sometimes they're like pretty tight. So if that loop is going and the context window is starting to approach the limit, we will pause for a second, take the whole history, send it to LM, ask it to summarize, and then we'll like continue the loop just with a summary. So
Is
you
that
eventually
dangerous?
In what way?
I don't know. Well, I mean, dangerous in the sense that the moment you ask it to summarize, you do effectively a compression algorithm on top of it, a very lossy one. Like how far does it
It's
get off?
pretty
Do you get like
effective.
warnings about it? Does OpenCode give you like a warning, like, hey, we had to do a lossy compression on your history,
Yeah,
so therefore it may start going haywire?
So we have that information to show you, but it works so well that like it's kind of
Okay.
yeah, like the experience feels like you have infinite context effectively.
Most of the tokens that it's taken up are like, here's the stack trace from one thing that I fixed 8 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And then you're
I
like,
mean,
okay.
really, a better practice is just to keep creating new sessions and to not let any context window grow very far. Summary is like compacting it is basically doing that. It's basically forcing you to start a new session, but it's giving it a little bit of context, I guess, in the form of the summary. But it's generally like you don't want to keep a long context window filled up with a session that's 25 messages long. It's like it's getting less and less effective over time.
Yeah, and if you think about like how much of the actual tokens you're typing in, telling it and giving it direction, it's very little compared to how much
Compared
it's
to
like
the
getting
tool
from
results. Yeah.
reading file or like I'm going to change this file. It was 250 lines long, and I changed a bunch of the lines. Huge diff, tons of tokens. We don't need that now. That was an hour ago.
Yeah, the effectiveness of the model is all tied to like signal to noise. How much signal can you give it without noise? And the longer your session goes, just obviously there's going to be more noise.
Make a new session for different things. That's what we're saying, right? So if I'm going to do a new task, I should start a new session.
Yep. And sometimes you want to do things in parallel. It's another reason to start a new session. You like kick off one thing, new session, kick off another thing, new session. I found my brain can only handle so many of those, but people do like parallelizing a lot. So
could you have an agent that spawns sessions, so it is actually the compression algorithm for your brain?
Subagents.
So you could have
It's all the rage. It's all the rage right now.
Yeah,
Tej is on top of it.
Oh, I know everything there is to know about agents. I came super prepared. I started drama on x.com, the everything application. I've been seeding false websites in the chat. I have 17 misinformation bots in the chat right now spreading fake news about OpenCode.
nice.
Yeah.
Subagents are an interesting concept. I think they should be used surgically. I think there's a trap of like having just subagents that are general purpose just to like parallelize work, because we're not like OpenCode, at least, is not intending to be an asynchronous agent. Like, you are in the loop on purpose. Like, we want you as a programmer able to interact with the agent and to steer it in the right directions. I think if you get into like 8 subagents doing all the work, there's very little visibility into what's happening. You lose the permissions model, like the ability to inspect what's going on. You just can't, like, your brain can't handle those 8 subagents going in parallel. So now you've kind of got like a background agent, right? You've got Jules or whatever else. And that's a different thing than what we're trying to create, which is very much human in the loop, human guiding the agent. So I think subagents, like using them, so there's a task agent in Claude Code or a search agent. It basically is just a read-only agent that can search through files and limit the amount of context noise in your main context window. That one makes a lot of sense. I think like a code review or a planning agent that's a sub agent, I think those can make sense. We're going to play with a lot of that stuff, but I think like just general purpose sub agent that does everything, and then you're just trying to parallelize all the tasks, I don't know. I think that's kind of a trap.
Can we get one that's like a Zoomer version of it, so that then the rest of the time it responds like a Zoomer? I want Tanner in OpenCode. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to write my prompt, and then it turns it into Tanner, and Tanner reads everything off to me. Hey guys, it's me, Tanner here. Just letting you know we're about to edit the files. Okay, sweet. That's what I think. That's what I think you guys are missing. Like, if you're going to differentiate on product, that's what you. Oh, Prime, yours is way better. Yours is way better.
I'm a way better Tanner doer.
I don't know who Tanner is. I'm not gonna lie. I was
AI,
trying to laugh and pretend.
It's an AI voice on Prime's channel. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm outed as not watching Twitch. I'm sorry, guys. I love you guys. I don't watch
Don't worry, someone
Twitch.
gifted you a sub, loser.
Yeah.
Okay. A CPM variable would be the person's name who gave you a sub. You
Adam,
suck.
let me be honest. Let me be honest with you. And even though this is in public, I'm going to be very frank with you. If you were watching Twitch, I'd be really mad because I'd be wondering what the heck, who's working on Terminal.Shop right now?
Yeah, exactly.
True.
I've got 3 jobs. I can't be watching Twitch.
You do not have time to be watching Twitch, Adam. You need to be building Terminal.Shop.
As your co-founder, I reject the notion of Adam on Twitch.
Yes, you're not a. If you knew who Tanner was, I'd be disappointed. It was a test all along.
True.
Really putting the individual, an individual contributor. Man, I love that line, though. That one.
It was very good.
Yeah.
Adam's building OpenCode so that he can have it work on Terminal. This is all like a straightforward plan.
Oh, so we're investing. We're sharpening the axe. Oh.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're big fans of sharpening the axe around here. So
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting
really
sharp.
Smart. It's going to be so sharp when he's done with it in a few months. It's going to be so sharp. Oh, man.
okay, so it really that's what it takes to build an agent. What is the part that you didn't realize was going to be like the hardest when building an agent? Like, what's the thing that caught you most off guard?
You know, it's just like every product, it's the 80% is easy. And then you get into all the edge cases. It's like, what happens when someone cancels the loop and it's like in the middle of a tool call? Like, is that handled gracefully? What happens when it like hits the context window but didn't get a chance to summarize? Like, there's just infinite of these like weird cases, and it's multiplied by the fact that, again, these things are not very deterministic. So discovering them is quite hard. So yeah, it's just, to me, I think for me, it's been all the edge cases. Adam's been mostly working on UI stuff. So
Yeah, the TUIs are just hard. Every time I work on a TUI, I'm reminded.
Would you say that? Would you say it's the way that Charm does the rendering that's hard, or is it the way that Charm takes over the OpenCode repo and has released it that's hard? Like, what would you say? TUIs are hard. What do you mean?
Charm's hitting us on both sides right now. I think that's what I'll say. Multi-front attack.
TJ is like, that is not okay.
All right. Do not associate. I could be literally anybody. It could be someone else over here. I am not part of this podcast at all.
That's Miami, TJ.
This Miami. I'm missing your chain, Dax. That's what I need to complete it. It really changes the look of the
it's right
turtleneck
here.
when you
It
throw a
does.
chain on.
Yeah.
It's so different.
The
I'll order one from
turtleneck does
Amazon
become
later.
way different.
Here's
No,
actually
but real talk-
the tough. I have one tough question for Adam. Does watching Twitch make you not a vegan because you're consuming something made by animals?
Aminals. I heard that.
Wow, that was unexpected.
I love it. Yeah, does using electricity mean you're not a vegan because you're consuming dinosaur juice?
fuels. You hate the environment.
Adam, why'd you agree to come on? I was surprised.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. We could probably do one more real question, but is the TUI hard because of the way? Because I know we worked on Charm together, and it has this thing where it has to render from top to bottom, so it makes like modals and various things difficult. Like, have you guys? Because I know we talked about this. Were you considering actually still building like the non top to bottom style rendering that is currently, is it Bubble Tea? Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you're wanting
Bubble
to
Tea.
change it out to something that's
I
more like
actually-
you have a scene and you layer it.
I like Bubble Tea.
Yeah, it's very good.
I've grown to really enjoy it. I enjoy Go more all the time. I kind of hated Go at first.
Suck
now,
on it, Twitter. Suck on that.
I'm actually enjoying Go quite
And
a bit.
TJ.
It's nothing about the actual like.
Look, you can learn to love
developer-
anything.
Yeah, you can learn. Yeah, sure.
Adam,
It's just
if we spent 6 months telling you had to write something in this and that it was good, Adam, you would say Rust is good. Like, this is not a strong
true.
endorsement,
That's not
chat.
true.
Do not
He is being
over-index on this.
The thing that makes TUIs hard is like coming from being a web developer. I can't like. There's so many more constraints, and that's nice, sure. In a lot of ways, like designing a TUI is kind of fun because you have all these constraints. But it also just sucks when I can't just like let the user do things you can just do on the web, and vertical space is so constrained. Like you're so just like you're trying to like minimize absolutely every pixel. It's just stressful. It's just like getting all the little things right and making a good TUI experience. It just kind of like stretches all your brain cells. It just sucks.
And overlays are hard.
Overlays are hard, yeah.
Okay. See, TJ, that was a real question. TJ thought I was going to make another joke. I wasn't. I was in there to actually, because I'm actually curious about it, because I wrote, when I did Flappy Bird, I actually gave up using that and just wrote my own scene and did z-indexing because I wanted to be able to do layering, and it's just easier. But then it takes care of all the colors and the spacing, and how you do that is actually a pretty complicated subject at the end of the day.
Yeah, I was just imagining you asking exactly the same question.
Nah,
again.
dude, I'm smart, man. That joke's only funny once.
Oh, man. Okay, well, anything else you guys want to let us know about agents or OpenCode?
We said on the podcast it's SST/OpenCode.
I've been pasting it in the chat. And
I know,
the links
but
will
yeah.
be in the description, and
Okay.
even maybe
Yes.
in a pinned comment if you're lucky, Adam.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
SST/.
I'm just already prepared for
OpenCode.
all the YouTube comments that are like, wait, it's not OpenCode AI/OpenCode? That's not the one?
Well, now that you
not the
said
one.
that, you've just guaranteed 90% of the comments
Yeah.
will be the wrong link, Adam. Have you?
Thanks, Adam.
So that's so maybe we'll help you out. Maybe we'll cut that part from the final thing. But I will post the links. I'll make sure the real links are there so that people can find it and test it out.
Yeah.
Thanks for
I
asking.
still have no idea how to build an agent, but I really appreciate the talk. It makes me feel better.
That's okay. We're gonna ask OpenCode to build us an agent next week
Yeah, there you go.
or
It's
later.
gonna write,
We actually
it's gonna
could, though,
write
Prime.
one loop.
Yeah, it'll be like you'll just see it. It'll be super obvious. It's the same thing as sending completion requests. It's just tool requests. That's it.
Okay.
And then it in a loop until
They
it's
make
done.
it easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well-
thanks, Dax. Thanks, Adam. Thanks, everyone,
guys.
for watching and listening. It's been
everyone.
another episode of the Stand-Up. Hopefully you enjoyed. Bye.
Boot up today, vibe coding, errors on my screen, terminal coffee in hand.